episode 31. Hot off the heels of a unfortunate Eagles victory.
Hey, listen, the win's a win. That was a big win. Don't be one of those people that are
I think
just pissed that we didn't tank.
I think it took us from the sixth overall draft spot to ninth.
That's all right. The Cowboys lost too,
No, the Cowboys won, so
or that's what I meant. I'm sorry,
yeah.
The Cowboys won. So, listen, they're still there. But this is the first win we've had in over a month, right? Yeah, the last win was November 1st. So, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you go into it with your overall thoughts, what you saw, I guess, from Hurts, obviously, and
I mean,
the team.
I something I'll never understand. I don't understand why this team always plays better when a backup comes in. I don't
Doesn't
get
make
it.
sense.
It's like
the opposite.
It's like Clark Kent steps out of the phone booth whenever the backup comes off the bench, and it doesn't matter who it is. They just always play better with the backup. I don't get it. Alshon Jeffrey catching a touchdown pass, the first productive thing I've seen him do in like almost 2 years. Yeah. But I mean, overall, listen, they ran the ball. Doug coached a hell of a much better game. The offensive line played really well. I think they were actually my surprise studs for that game. How well they played, considering this was the 12th different line combination they've had this season. They said, especially against listen, everything they did, putting it against the best team in the NFC and arguably the best defense in football. I give all the credit to them. Wasn't the prettiest, but they ran the ball really well. Defense played well. Defense held up even with the injuries they were suffering because they were dropping secondary guys left and right.
Defense played really well.
Defense has played really well. I've been very impressed with the defense. They really picked it up. I mean, they definitely weren't the issue. They had some bad games, but they definitely weren't the issue this year.
I agree.
But they've really, as a unit, played really well. I think Singleton is I think he's a guy I can be excited for, a linebacker. He is actually one of the better linebackers we've had recently. When we've just chose to ignore that position, he's like a bright spot. I'm excited for him. He's a young player we've developed. That's another thing we don't seem to be doing very much recently. So that was good to see. He made some plays out there, and the defense continues to play well. Getting to the elephant in the room, though, being Jalen Hurts. I won't take anything away from the guy. Listen, your first career start, you went and beat a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
He did run for 102 yards or whatever he ended up with, the exact number, and I thought that was impressive, especially consider they said the Saints didn't give up a 100-yard rusher in the last 55 games, and the Eagles had 2 of them in one game. So that was impressive. I thought of that. A lot of that came back to the offensive line as well because I thought they played really well, and Sanders had the big one. Getting to the negative, because this is what you hear on Philadelphia Sports Radio, immediately, is now it's time to trade Carson Wentz, get rid of him. It's just confirmed we need to trade him. Everyone's talking about, we need to trade him before this date, otherwise we get hit with this cap money. I didn't see. I did not see enough out of Jalen Hurts right from that game to make me want to trade Carson Wentz yet. I wasn't the biggest believer in Hurts when he came out of the draft. I didn't think he had the makeup of a franchise quarterback. Now the Eagles, he's on the Eagles, so I'll give him every opportunity to succeed before I, write him off. But even when I saw him, he made some nice plays, but he's not there as a passer. He could always run. He was a great runner in college. And I actually think when you see these mobile quarterbacks, they usually come in the league, they light it up, they do really well in the beginning, and then the defenses start catching on. And that's what I thought more of what the issue with the Saints was. They just didn't look like they were prepared for a mobile quarterback like Hurts. I think that was evident by how much Hurts ran on them. But I don't know. I'm tempered on the expectations. Listen, he won his first game, and I'll give him that. It was a game I never saw them winning, and he did much better than I've seen from Carson this year. So I'll give him all the credit in the world. But this whole, we need to get rid of Carson, Hurts is the future. I don't know what game they were watching. He was 17 to 30 passing for 167 yards. The guy was not lighting it up at all.
Right. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I will say off the bat, watching that offense, that style of more of a run-heavy offense is kind of exciting to me. If that's the path they choose and they choose to stick with Jalen, Miles Sanders could be in for a really big pay, big season next year if that's the case. But yeah, I think it was convenient that the whole team played well, except for Jake Elliott.
He's done. There's no more. I don't care. The memories are out of my mind. I get a new kicker. Get a new 22-yard field. Are you kidding me?
I was
I
so
could have
worried.
I was a couple beers deep when I was watching that. I could have still come out to the link. I'm right down the street. I would have been out there kicking field goals.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jalen, like you said, he was effective enough. Looked great on the run, but like you said, the passing he wasn't lighting anybody up. Um, he had a really Carson Wentz throw to Jalen Reagor, really underthrew him.
Yeah. I listen, from a passer, like I did not see it. He's had moments. I still think that touchdown pass he threw the week prior was probably the best throw I've seen him make so far. And I don't know if it's because we're just so used to horrific quarterback play, because that's what Carson's given us all year. But as a passer, like, I'm not set on this guy as the future quarterback. Like, I didn't see anything that made me believe that, besides the fact that he won and he can run the ball.
My biggest worry is not even a matter of who's more talented between the two or who's the better quarterback. It's more of like, I don't know if Carson even fits on this team anymore, the way it just unfolds for him every year. Like, it's just like the poor guy. Like, you got to feel for him. Like, he's always got to beat somebody out. They always have to bring in another quarterback to give him trouble.
Yeah.
They won't give him weapons. They won't give him, line depth so that he doesn't have to go through getting the most sacked quarterback in the league. And, people are like, oh, well, Jalen didn't get sacked. Yeah, because Jalen was running around most of the game. He's a lot quicker than Wentz.
Well, I think, all right. So a couple things I'll give Hurts credit for, and
I'm not trying to bash Hurts. I think Hurts played phenomenal against a really good defense. But like you said, he wasn't lighting the world on fire.
Yeah, this is where it's like a tough spot, because he won a game I thought he had no business winning the game beforehand.
He played very well.
He did play, he got enough done to win, but I didn't see it to like just give up on Carson and trade him. And that's what I'm hearing right now. And I'm like just baffled by what people were saying that made them think that Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback. This is what I look at in the future. The $30 million dead cap hit doesn't go anywhere, even if you trade him. This team is so bad that I don't want $30 million of dead cap. Like, just keep Carson. Let him be your backup if you want. Like, listen, you sign him to the contract. This is what happens when you sign guys to these huge contracts. You usually just can't get rid of them whenever you feel like.
But you can't. I mean, you can't have him sit on the bench all next year with that top. He has the highest contract on the team, and it's like one of the highest. He's got 106 guaranteed, 106 million guaranteed. Like,
okay, so what do you think you're trading from? Like,
it's really not about getting anything for him. It's just about getting him out of Philly, because, like you said, the fans. Here's the thing: there's fans like you and me who are knowledgeable enough to understand the situation and what's going on, and then there's like the typical self-proclaimed Eagles fan that watches the game on Sunday and then goes about their week, and then it's Sunday again. I guess the Eagles are playing. Let me talk about what I don't like about the team now. It's like they don't really look into it like we do, and like analysts do, and people who actually care about the sport and stuff. So it's like I could care less what Philly thinks of Carson and all that. It's more of like, I don't know if his mental's there. Like, I don't know if he even wants to be here after all the shit they put him through. Like, Howie hasn't helped him with the draft picks and shit. So maybe he wants out. I don't know.
I still put all this. Howie's my main culprit behind this.
Yeah, I mean,
because you know what, this Jalen Hurts thing is his fault, because we have to deal with it now because you drafted him so hard. But we've been through that a million times. Here is my nightmare scenario that I see playing out in my head every time. Everyone's like, "Well, it's already given. You have to trade Carson Wentz." My nightmare scenario: you trade Carson Wentz to pick a team, whoever. He goes on to become very good, the franchise quarterback you thought he was because you gave him the contract, traded up to go get him, and you ruined him. And then Jalen Hurts just proves that he's not the franchise quarterback. And now then you would have to deal with the reality of the franchise quarterback you had under contract that you traded away is now succeeding with another team. and the quarterback you drafted second round after giving huge money to your so-called franchise quarterback isn't the guy. And then what? Now we're going through two quarterbacks, a shit ton of money, a second round draft pick. How many seasons it would take until you finally move on? I'm not saying Hurts isn't a franchise quarterback. I don't know yet. I'm for him to play the rest of the season so we can find out. But this is the nightmare scenario I can't get over. Is you trade away Wentz, he becomes very good with a coach and a GM that wants to build around him and realize the talent that he has, and then Hurts isn't the guy. Because that'll send you back so far. Everyone loses their job after that. You're going to be rebuilding this whole thing over again. You're going to be looking for a quarterback. And that I see as a very likely situation. I don't think Carson Wentz is completely done. Maybe in Philadelphia, just because we're brutal to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And the same idiot that's been building this horrific roster around him is still in charge. I don't know what's going to happen with Doug. Here's my other thing on that is if you fire Doug, then I don't want to trade Carson because I want a new coach to come in. Why don't you go into the camp with a quarterback battle? Let Wentz win his job back.
Yeah.
Hurts ends the season, whether good or bad. Then you go into next year and you're like, you know what, Carson, that was a horrible season you played. We sat you down. If that doesn't open the guy's eyes, then nothing will. Then you just move on from. But right now he has no trade value at all. So I don't see the point in rushing him into a trade where you're not going to get anything from him besides just getting him off the team and still taking your dead cap hit. But if you fire Doug, keep both of them. See if this coach can bring out the best in Carson. If he can't, then you move on. I don't see his value falling back much more later on. Sure, the money gets a little different, but I'm not there yet because Hurts hasn't shown it to me. If he goes out and lights up and we win the next 5 games, maybe.
Right,
and
we're saying pump the brakes. It was only one game. But
remember last year,
if he lights it up for 4 straight,
Remember last year, Carson and the kids won 4 straight, went to the playoffs.
Carson and the kids, yeah.
So in a dream situation, Jalen Hurts maybe does the same thing, and then I guess you can convince me that he's the future. But I don't know. There's just too much uncertainty. Franchise quarterbacks are hard to find, and I've seen Carson Wentz be a franchise quarterback. Have I seen it? It's been a while, but I have seen it before with my own eyes.
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like every week I slowly come more to terms with accepting because I really like Carson. I'm rooting for him, and I wish he would be the Eagles quarterback, and I wish he would play with his potential. But I'm not. I don't want to go through this again, like with him. If this is like every year going to be a thing, but I think not to look too far ahead, but I think there's 3 scenarios that we'll see, and the Eagles have, by the time the season ends, they'll have 3 months, January, February, March, to decide what they're doing. So scenario 1, Carson's your quarterback. You're going to let him go in the offseason, retool himself, get his mind right, get his body right, whatever it may be, get him ready for training camp. Scenario 2, Jalen's your guy. You find a way to get Carson out of here. Or scenario 3, you have Jalen and Carson. Carson, you might want to trade. You don't know. Jalen hasn't shown you enough, and you're still bad enough to trade up and get a good quarterback in the draft. I don't think the draft. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback, but you have
to, depending on how bad you are, you have to consider if you're in the top 5, it has to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Jalen just doesn't play well the rest of the 3 games, or just this game, however many more he plays. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. This team's so day and night. It's like.
So here's now the main thing that I'll give credit to Hurts on was that offense I saw. It was very RPO heavy, run
more
heavy,
efficient, for sure.
Quick ball out of your hand. It was like quick stuff.
I think they only punted once or twice.
Yeah, they were quick.
He had a really bad fumble, but.
Well, yeah, but that's all right. Carson had a lot of horrific turnovers. I'm not going to kill him on that. But that offense that Doug was out there, like, what makes me think is this the offense Doug's trying to run, but he just can't do it with Carson because, one, he just doesn't pull the trigger on the first read. He just doesn't have confidence in his reads. Carson is a mobile guy. Like, I've seen him run the ball. I know they pulled him back because the injury concern, but, he's been healthy a couple of years. Why not get a little more mobility to Carson's game? Why not go back to the 2017 Carson where he was running around making plays? I think he's doing it too much now where he's trying to set him up himself. Maybe he's, at the line killing plays that Doug's calling and trying to call his own superhero plays. But
that's what it sounds like. I'm hearing a lot of leaks from the media and stuff, and it's what it's sounding like is like Doug tailored this offense more to what Carson wants to do, and Carson will audible a lot at the line, and then we see the product. So
And
I mean,
that's
I never
yeah,
thought
that's a
Carson
problem.
was. I never thought he was super intelligent as far as reading defenses and stuff. But he always had the talent to get it done no matter what, and it just hasn't shown it this year. And
Yeah.
you know, it it's hard to play in. It's not even a matter of talent at this point. It's a matter of mental. Like, can you play in this city? Like, will you fight for your job and will you promise to get better? Will you show to get better? Like, I don't know. I don't know if he has
Listen,
that resolve.
I hear
I
people
don't want
say
to question
that.
that, but it is
I
what it
hear
is at this
people
point.
say that, like, oh, he's never seen Philly. Does he have the mental, fortitude to get through this? This dude's backup won a Super Bowl. He went through 2 years of injuries, rehabbing, recovery. He's dealt with his teammates talking behind his back to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had to deal with the Jalen Hurts pick. This guy's been through everything. I am not worried about his mental fortitude. Am I worried about his mental fortitude when it comes to reading the defense and not, just completely ignoring wide open receivers? Yeah, that I'm worried about. I'm not worried about his, crying in the background or, not, mentally tough enough to withstand the pressure of the media. This guy's been through hell and back. Like, he's been through it's stuff that quarterbacks can't even dream of. I talked back about the Aaron Rodgers thing in the Green Bay's game where he's like, I went out of my way to talk Carson Wentz because Aaron Rodgers had a tough start to his career. Draft day slide and the Brett Favre thing. But that is nothing compared to what Carson Wentz has come through. So I'm not worried about that. I think the guy's got the makeup. I think he can do it. I think the team building around him is the biggest issue for our success here. The Doug part, now, I think Doug maybe gets burnt too much this season on his play calling because I think after the Hurts game, it's getting pretty clear that Carson was a big issue in that because Doug went and called a very good game, I thought. He called the game, it wasn't the greatest thing, but considering he had a quarterback out there for the first time, he ran the ball. He set him up in situations to be successful. He didn't put him in situations where he was going to get killed. It was more tailored to what he should be doing in a game like that with a quarterback like that in a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, is that something he was trying to do with Carson and Carson kept on getting in the way? Or he tells him, hey, Carson, we're going to run short routes on this so you can get the ball out of your hands so you don't get killed when your offensive line gets beat. And then Carson just refuses to do that or just doesn't have the confidence. Well, that's a whole other thing. But that's my biggest concern. If you fire Doug, you need to bring back Carson because you need to let the new coach have every possibility to pick his quarterback. And I think what coach wouldn't want, the choice to pick between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. If you pigeonhole one guy to one quarterback, you'd hope it works. But I would assume that if you had a new coach coming in, he would want as many possibilities to succeed, and you need a quarterback to succeed.
I mean, yeah. If there's a coaching change, it'll come within a week or two after the season ends. They're not going to dilly dally.
Yeah.
And Doug wouldn't want them to wait either if they were going to fire him.
No, because Doug's going to get another job.
But yeah, just final thoughts beyond the quarterbacks. It's, I mean, Doug, once again in his pressers, defends his players because you noticed how he wasn't. People kept trying to get him to praise Jalen more, and he just kept saying, it was a great team effort. Jalen played well, blah blah blah. And even the other players still stood up for Carson, even though he didn't play. I think it was Sanders. Someone asked about Jalen's leadership, and he was like, "Oh, Jalen's comes on the field, does a great job commanding the offense. The same stuff that Carson does." So it's nice to see that. I think a lot of people spin it as, "Oh, they have to defend Carson." It's like, no, they're sticking up for him. If they didn't want to defend him, they wouldn't defend him. Like,
I agree.
They're grown men. They're not going to play baby patty cake here.
When they first made the switch, you heard Fletcher Cox and
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Graham come out there and stick by him, and that's telling. Miles Sanders said too. I only hear is this guy is not a leader. He's lost the locker room. He's just a mental head case. He can't handle it in the city or with his team. And he's been through so much and he stuck through it. He's never complained about anything. He's not throwing his teammates under the bus. He doesn't complain about the coaching. I've always thought he just goes out there and does his business. I think he does have the makeup to succeed here. I think he's been in the most difficult quarterback situation I can ever think of. His career has just been a disaster.
I mean, we shouldn't even be surprised that a Philadelphia Eagles quarterback is getting backlash. Like Donovan McNabb went to 4 straight NFC championships and people were still booing him. So this is nothing new.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was a great win. I'm not going to take anything away from them or
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. They won. There's not much I can say. Like I said, they hadn't won since November 1st. So it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Defense played well, but they got a lot. Like McLeod's out; he tore his ACL. Slay
Yeah.
and Maddox might not even play this Sunday. Like they got hurt with injuries. I think Barnett came out for a while.
So going back to one of the things you've been talking to me about a lot this week is the Will Parks release,
Mm.
and how stupid that looks now that McLeod's hurt.
Yep.
But again, I wanted to just bring this up because it goes to the long list of just guys we bring in that can't even last the season. So add Will Parks to the Gerald Avery's, the Orlando Scandricks, the Zach Browns, all these veterans that Howie's brought in on 1 or 2 year deals the last couple of years who just can't even make the whole season. Like I feel like the Super Bowl run.
I think there was an internal. Like I think Will Parks started talking shit internally, and that's why they cut him because he wanted more playing time, and he should have got more playing time over
Okay.
Mills at safety.
Okay, then here's my question for you. So, and this is not something that we understand. What is when Howie signs this guy? Is he like, is he setting him up for failure? Like, does he talk to Doug? Like, hey, can we use this guy? Are we gonna actually play him, or is Jalen Mills gonna start? Because I don't want this to happen. I don't want this guy to think he's gonna start. I know it's the NFL, no one cares about your opinions, but like, still, like, it's just none of them have worked.
No, I think the thought going in was I don't think he signed to be this, like, knowing that he was going to be the starter. It was going to be you're going to compete, and if if Schwartz decides so, it's going to be a rotation. And I think that's what it was. But Parks was hurt. He missed quite a few games early in the year, and that really messed up his. Because I think if he didn't get hurt, he would still be on the team.
Yeah.
But Avery's still on the team. He's just been hurt. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of an expensive, deal with what's his name on the D line, Hargrave. But he's playing. He's finally coming around. He's had a couple back-to-back good games. But
I'll give him that. He has played well. Well, here's the thing about the Malik Jacksons, the Jamin Hargraves, the Darius Slays, those moves that Howie makes, they can't go anywhere. You can't just give up on it. They have to keep playing because they're making too much money. And I will say, before he had the concussion, he was out. I don't know if you were watching your boy, but after I called him out on that, I thought he was actually playing pretty well against Michael Thomas.
I mean, yeah, I think Mike Thomas finished with 80 yards, but I think I saw 60 of them were against Slay, and they were all slants. So
yeah, no, I thought he actually
played much better. Yeah,
I was impressed. He got hurt.
Fair tackling that helps.
Yeah, but that stinks that he got hurt because I thought he was playing pretty well, but.
Yeah, I don't want to hamper too much more on the Eagles. Get to a couple other things, and then our studs, duds, picks, and power rankings and stuff. So, any final thoughts on the Birds?
Not much. I just temper expectations. Everything's an overreaction in Philly sports world. Jalen Hurts hasn't shown me he's a franchise quarterback yet. I'm not going to rain on the broke guys parade. I was impressed by the win, but
yeah,
let's see him keep doing it.
I was saying this to someone the other day. It's like I'm in such a weird spot emotionally with this team because, obviously you want to see your team play well and win and then be set up for the years after. But I really like Carson. I really want Carson to be the quarterback in Philly. And does that mean I need Jalen to play poorly for Carson to stay? I like Jalen too, but it's just such and then I don't want him to win games because I'd rather get a better draft pick because they're not going to do nothing in the playoffs. And then what happens if Hurts takes them to the playoffs and wins a game or two? Now what? It's going to be a wild finish. I don't know if I'm ready. But
if that happens, because to make the playoffs, he probably would have to, I don't know, maybe not for the division, but come close to winning out.
If he gets them to win a wild card, if I'm Carson, I'm fuck this shit, I'm done. Get me out of this town.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, if that happens, then yeah, we could probably move on from. But after one game, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, keep this in mind when the offseason happens and the years progress. Just keep this in mind: the of trading Wentz, watching him succeed somewhere else, and Jalen Hurts not being the guy, because that will put this team back so far and will be just one of the worst sporting decisions. And it's something I realistically could absolutely
see happening. He's been doing that a lot lately, so.
Yeah, that's my worry. That's why I'm not there yet. I either need to be more confident in Jalen Hurts or have to be, I don't know what Carson Wentz, because he can't play worse than he was, and I don't know. The deal's not going to move. I don't know where I'm going to be with him. I still believe it's somewhere in there with him, but we'll see.
So I guess you'll be a very happy camper when Wentz is traded and J3 Muto is not a Philly.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we trade Wentz for a 5th round pick to the Colts, and he goes to the Pro Bowl the next year, and Jalen Hurts is winning us 3 games. Yeah, that'll be the high point of my Philly sports career.
Yeah, I'm more afraid of the damage Carson would do with the Colts, or even someone was telling me the Patriots could be a likely spot. Like,
See, and that's the thing. That is the thing. Like, if you believe, and I do too, I'm right there with you. My inclination is he will go somewhere else and succeed. And if
100%.
that's the case, then why do you want to get rid of him so bad?
It's
Like,
just a
if you think he can
situation.
succeed, yeah, but if you think you
The
can
Eagles
succeed
built
somewhere
this
else,
crap.
so then why don't you change the situation the Eagles are in? That's why, listen, fire Howie. This whole team sucks. If you want to get rid of Doug, I'll hear the conversation.
Hmm.
But like, maybe look into changing the situation, then just get rid of your franchise quarterback after a bad season. But
I
hey,
don't know.
I'll leave it at that. Like I said, that's the nightmare situation, and that's where I'm at right now. I think about that before I really dive into whether I want to trade him or not.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Well, anyways, we had a couple good games. KC and Miami played a pretty. I mean, Mahomes threw like 3 picks. I saw.
Mahomes did throw some.
Um,
That Miami defense is good, but Mahomes did not look very good. Did you see the sack he took? He was like
I did not.
he ran like 20 yards backwards himself and got sacked on the goal line.
Oh, was he playing Madden? Is that what was going on?
That's what it looked like. I was like, what is going on? Like, it's not like even like Mahomes can move, but like he
Hmm.
had 2 guys chasing after him. Like, it would have taken Lamar Jackson type speed to think you were going to get anywhere besides backwards with 2 guys chasing him.
Yeah. Speaking of Lamar Jackson, allegedly left the field to go take a poop, and came back in on a 4th and 5 and threw a touchdown bomb to
Really, I didn't hear the
take
poop
the
thing.
lead.
I heard his interview where he said he had cramps. But
Oh, cramps. Yeah. He
maybe
pulled
he
up.
read
He
it.
pulled a Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he could. I did think that when I was watching the game, and McSorley easily, like, just, he probably blew out his knee.
Oh yeah.
So he was done. And then Lamar Jackson comes sprinting in as soon as I was like, dude, could you have always played? Like, there's 2 minutes left in the game-winning drive. Like, what exactly were you waiting for? Like, if you were healthy to go, why weren't you there?
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, hey, they came out. That was a hell of a game. And
I will say, for as much as I critique Baker Mayfield, I mean, I think I
look
still
good.
stand by my Kirk Cousins comparison, because Kirk Cousins has games like this too where I saw Baker make some really nice plays though. Like, watching the highlights,
He did.
Baker made some nice throws, like on the
I was
run,
excited
getting out
about
of
that.
sacks. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give him
He
credit.
he played very well. Like, he was smart a couple times, and he scrambled. He scored the touchdown at the end. Like, he kept him moving. I thought actually both quarterbacks played really well. In
Yeah.
the most typical Browns fashion I could ever dream of. What was like there was like right when they like scored 3 times in a row, both teams at the end. It was like 4th and 5, like that drive right when Lamar comes back, and it's like 4th and 5. All you need to do is stop them to win, and you have the worst possible thing happen where Lamar just hits Marquise Brown just screaming down the field for an
Mhm.
easy touchdown. And that's just brutal. Baker ended up answering, which was impressive. But when you have a good kicker, unlike the Eagles and most of the teams in the league, after all those missed kicks this year and this past week, all you need is Justin Tucker in field goal range, and it's money every time.
Yeah. More games we had. I mean, Buffalo. Like I was saying to you earlier, I think Buffalo, is KC's biggest threat right now. I think
Agreed.
that's a good matchup. Sean McDermott's team against Andy Reid's team, and I mean, Buffalo. I don't think the score will show it, but they dominated Pittsburgh in that game. It wasn't
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't that close, and Pittsburgh's starting to look a little dicey now. I mean, they had injuries on defense past few games, but their offense isn't
yeah,
really producing that much, and their run game's just abysmal.
yeah. Well, I think they've like. I mean, I don't think they were a perfect team in the beginning of the season. Like, everyone was saying, like, this is the weakest 10-0 team or whatever.
Hmm.
Like, but their defense was carrying them, and they were playing really
Yeah,
well. And they're taking some licks now. Because even like I thought the
The
Bills.
Dupree injury is really hurting
Oh, it's
them.
huge. Watt has been quiet since that injury
Yep.
happened. They live off each other. I'll give incredible hand clap to the Bills offense coordinator or head coach or whatever, because I saw Cam Hayward just being a menace to the first
Hmm.
half, and then they just took him right out. They
Yeah,
they saw the problem, adjusted, and they took him out. And with the Steelers now, it seems like it's easier to just adjust to certain guys on that defense now.
Yeah, and same thing with Baker with Josh Allen. With what I was like, Josh Allen was making some really nice throws, like on the move. I saw one he went like left, right, up, and then threw sideways to Josh Allen for like on a fourth down conversion. I was like, where do you pull this out of? Like
Yeah. And someone,
making
you know,
plays.
someone is coming for that top 3, top 5 ranking when we do our wide receiver rankings next year. Stephon Diggs is having a hell of a year.
Oh, I do believe I had him in my top 10, and you left him out. So
I'm sorry. I do believe I made the prediction that he was going to be the biggest transaction this year.
I said the same thing.
No, after I said it, like you normally do, just
No, I
piggybacking off
said
my genius.
everyone is putting him in bust in fantasy, but I didn't see that. I think he was going to be really good. He's going to be a monster for Josh Allen. And look at, I think he's top 5 in receptions and receiving yards or something. And he's killing it for me in fantasy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't remember all this praise from you in the beginning. I could
No,
have sworn that was
I
me, but
was.
maybe.
Hey, it's all out there. All our YouTube videos are out there. Our podcasts are out there. You can go back and listen, and
Oh, I
you'll
won't.
see that I was praising Stephon Diggs. But um, another team I just kind of mentioned. So I started Washington's defense in fantasy, and they got me 23 points.
Ironic. That was the exact amount of points that their team scored.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Nick Mullen, your cousin, the Niners.
I don't think the Niners. I thought, I believed in them a little bit as they got a little healthier. I don't think it's.
But I expected the Giants to lose to the Cardinals, and that kind of killed their sale. And honestly, they looked like the team that we thought they were, where Daniel Jones is starting to make turnovers, and they looked a little dicey at times. And
No, that
I
was
still think the football team is going to win the division. The team with no name is going to win the NFC East.
I would
So.
agree with you there. Chase Young is an absolute beast.
Oh,
He's getting in those off defensive rookie of the year rankings now.
he is an animal.
Yeah,
Not
he's.
even like a stat thing. Just watching him is like tears it up.
I'll say this about the Giants game. I'm very happy about it because I'm not gonna lie. When they started winning and they were in the first place in the division, I was like, do I know nothing about football? Have I wasted my whole life watching football and loving football? Like I look at the Giants and I just know they're not.
I mean, it was a close game, but
Well, it wasn't. It was 26-7. That game was never close. Yes, it was.
Oh wait, you know what? I'm thinking of you're right. The game should have been 21-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah,
But the
that was
Giants
never
defense
close.
held up at the goal line like back to back.
Yeah, that was just a reminder that the Giants aren't really a good team.
I hated hearing that, like everyone, all of us, because they were on a win streak. Everyone was like, and don't get me wrong. I said last week, I said I think they're playing well and they're playing like a team, but at the same rate, like I don't think Gettleman is some GM wizard. Like I still think he's as sketchy as he was last offseason. Like I don't think he's a great GM. Still made questionable draft picks and signings.
The team is still not. The roster's not good. I'll give Judge.
Yeah, the roster's not that talented, but they have young guys who fight, and Joe Judge, gets them to play. So
they improved the defense. Look at the defensive acquisitions they made has really come up.
They're not a bad team, but they're not these world-beating playoffs. They're not a playoff team.
No, I don't know. I'll give Gettleman credit though. This past offseason, the addition of Bradbury and Martinez, and getting Joe Judge, those were very good moves. I thought he had a good, solid offseason.
I like Bradbury, but I would not be surprised if he's one of those defensive backs where he thrives on a team and then goes and signs a big contract somewhere else and just flops. Like he just comes off as that kind of player.
Isn't that what he just did with the Giants? Like he left the Panthers, signed a big deal, and now he's on the Giants, doing very well. Yeah,
but I'm saying because the scheme of the Giants' run fits him better than what he was doing in Carolina. Or he just has a better piece. I don't know what. I don't get to watch a lot of Giants games, and not that I would want to, but
fair enough. Yeah.
That's kind of my speed fire roundup of what kind of big takeaways from the weekend.
I think it covers everything else. I mean, the Buccaneers came out. I mentioned that earlier. The Vikings suck, but the
Buccaneers don't impress me. They have so much. They're like the Cowboys, but like actually win games. But it's like they have so much talent on both defense and offense to just be not that exciting. Like I don't know, they just don't excite me.
Yeah, I mean the Arians and Brady thing still, still looks like an issue. But listen.
Godwin hasn't had that great of a year either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it pretty much covers it. Herbert got a win. You know, the Chargers love to blow late game leads, so play the Falcons, the only team that'll blow more than you. So that was a big win for them. The Colts came out. Somehow Phillip Rivers led an offense to 44 points, but I'll give them that. The Colts look pretty good. That defense is menacing, and if their offense keep going like that, Jonathan Taylor's a big part of the offense now. I was impressed. And T.Y. Hilton resurrected. I forgot he was even playing this year, so it was good to see him out there.
Carson Wentz Colts.
Yeah, the Red Rocket came, torched his whole team as I kind of expected. Won me a little bit of money. The Bears. I think this was the surprising game of it. Well, maybe not the surprising.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I forgot that he played his old team in the Bengals.
Yeah.
Slipped my mind.
There was actually quite a number of revenge games this week, if you think about it. You had the Red Rocket. Well, so I was looking at a couple other ones.
So many.
All right, listen, there's quite a few. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, you got to come with the facts. Can't just say shit and then.
Oh, Jamal Adams against the Seahawks. That was
okay.
One. There was a couple more.
Okay. That's two. Okay.
All right, I'll give you I'll come back to it. Let's put it that way. I did not come prepared. I wasn't.
I wanted to give you a little rev up to your studs and duds, and just give an acknowledgement that we are witnessing a running back god, because Derrick Henry's played in 13 games. Yeah. He's got 1,500 rushing yards already. The man he's unstoppable. He had another. I'm sure you'll touch on it, another huge game, but. Yeah. With that being said, who are our three studs of the week?
So, well, first, as I'm remembering my revenge games, Kyle Shanahan played Washington, his former team. And here's one for you. Young-Ho Koo, or Young-Wei Koo, I apologize, the kicker for the Falcons, went back to L.A., the team that he started with, the Chargers, for like 3 games and was the worst kicker in the history of the world. So they cut him immediately.
So he bounced around a bit.
Yeah, those are a couple ones for you right there. So I know there's more that I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but there are a few.
Okay.
So getting to the studs, I'm actually glad that you brought up Derrick Henry. I knew you were going to, so I did want to give you a disclaimer right now.
Couldn't resist.
He didn't make the studs list.
What?
I know. All right,
this better be. I mean, you must be doing this on he's too good to put him on the stud list every week.
Okay, so
he had 212 rushing yards. How is he not a stud?
So that is exactly why he didn't make the studs list. Because one, all right, let's put it this way. Derrick Henry is so amazing. Derrick Henry is so amazing that 200 yards against the Jaguars, it's ridiculous to think, but I kind of expected it. It's just, he's awesome. He's done.
That's how good he is that you expect him to rush
amazing.
200 yards, which is usually unheard of.
I could realistically put him at the studs every single week, but I would get boring. I like to bring diversity. I like to dig.
I don't think you like players that go over 200, because you had missed Darren Waller last week, who had 200 receiving yards.
I put everyone on there besides that.
All right, I'm really
Waller might have been a look over.
I'm looking forward to the tease to lead up to each player, so I can see how incorrect you are.
Okay, yeah. But, yeah, I'll put it this – yeah, no, I knew you were going to bring it up. But, yeah, no, Derrick Henry didn't make it, and I was well aware of what his stat line was before. But, listen, 200 yards by Derrick Henry by the Jags is just – it's usual. I feel like he does plays. So we'll get to the good stuff. All righty. So, the third stud this week, a guy you and me know very well.
Personally?
I don't know who you hang out with normally, but no, I don't. But played 2 different colleges – 2 powerhouses in his tenure, national champion. We talked a lot about him, so I'm not going to lie. The hints might be, easy giveaway, so I'll probably cut right to the chase. Anytime a rookie quarterback can come in on his first start ever, beat the best team in the NFC, the best defense in football, and do it on a 3-win roster, yeah, got to find a spot on the stud list somewhere for him. I know the numbers weren't pretty, and we already talked about them already. I mean, the rushing numbers were fine. But the passing the numbers, not the prettiest. I think, what was it, 17 for 30, the 197, and the 1 passing touchdown he had to Alshon Jeffrey, or 167, I apologize. But he did go for 100 yards in the rushing category, 106 on 18 carries, about a 6-yard pop. Did it on a team that hasn't let up a 100-yard rusher, so that was another thing. He looked good. He looked poised. He looked confident. He had a tough turnover. But I'm not going to critique him too much. Listen, the guy's got to win that. No matter where his career goes, he'll never forget this one. It was on the big stage. We were on national TV, and he went there and just got a big win. The Eagles haven't won in 6 weeks, so hats off to Mr. Jalen Hurts coming off the bench when this season was just imploding on every possible way. People were begging for the GM to be fired, begging for the coach to be fired, begging for the franchise quarterback to be traded, and pretty much everyone in between to be released. And this guy came in on his first start, beat one of the best teams in the NFL, and for 1 week gave Philadelphia a little excitement. So Jalen Hurts.
I'll allow this only because I like where you're taking this, where the stud isn't necessarily how much you lit up the scoreboard, more so how impressive did you play.
See, come on.
So, okay, I'll give you that.
I'll give you this. And then the next stud is another good. So the second stud, another similar thing. This guy had a crazy stat line, though. He did have a crazy stat line. I'll give him that. But the other thing is, like, I can almost bet my life on he'll never come close to this stat line again because he hasn't done it in his.
I already know who you're talking about.
Now I have clues for this one.
Does he hail from?
Whoa. Okay. I have clues for this one. I actually went out and got some clues. So don't be you get all, I like to guess along, and I suddenly have one. You're blowing my questions out.
I'm sorry. I'm just too smart for you, I guess.
That's what you think. So
all right. Let's hear these
this guy.
Okay.
He was actually talk about a hell of a spread in draft history.
Mm-hmm.
He was directly picked after Patrick Mahomes, then Marshawn Lattimore, then Deshaun Watson, then my guy, second stud. And fun fact, he was drafted right before a rookie that would go on to win a Super Bowl that exact year. He is a defensive player who put up one hell of a stat line. His 5 sacks in one game, 5 sacks in one game, would be the same amount of sacks he's had in the previous 2 seasons combined. He is a former alumni of one of your schools that you attended.
Go Owls, baby.
Hassan Reddick, Arizona Cardinal outside linebacker, with a whopping 5 sacks of Daniel Jones, doubling his sack total on the season to 10. Let's put this, I'll give this is a public announcement to any defensive player out there. Get 5 sacks in the game. I don't care if you lose. I don't care if you embarrass. I don't care if you blow the game for them. You'll be on the list. 5 sacks is no joke.
It's insane.
It's amazing to think that he got to 3 sacks and they just couldn't just double team him or just be like, get rid of the ball before he gets there. Like, you'd think they would come up with something different, but this is Daniel Jones. He was playing hurt, and he is pretty brutal when it comes to pocket presence, and that offensive line isn't great. But take nothing away from the guy. Had a huge game, a game he'll never forget, just like Jalen Hurts. Hassan Reddick, second stud.
Yeah, as soon as you said he did something that he won't ever do again, I was like, it's got to be Hassan Reddick. But, he played great. I remember I left to go to the bathroom, and I came back when the game was on, and they were like, Hassan Reddick, 5th sack of the game. I was like, what? How? How are they not blocking him? It was like – but, he went – I think he had 5 sacks coming into the game. Yeah. And now he has 10. So he went from, probably, top 30 in, sack in the league to, top 5, I would guess.
Well, I don't remember if the the Cardinals picked up his 5th-year option, but
I don't know. I said I forget who it was I was talking about. Oh, I think a Zach Ertz deal to the Cardinals for Hassan Reddick. I thought would have been we get a second and Reddick for Ertz.
I wouldn't mind that, but my point being, I don't know if they declined the option or not, but if he's a free agent next year, that game single-handedly, has made him millions.
Yeah.
He could probably negotiate a contract double what he would have got before that game now after. He's double-digit sack guy. Never did that in any other season this year.
Shaq Barrett, baby.
Shaq Barrett had, I think it was 4 sacks against Jameis, I believe it was last year. He also went on to have 15 other ones besides those 4.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of quiet this year, but
he's been solid. I think the numbers are down, but guy has 20 sacks. You're eventually going to skew the defense, but ultimately, I think he's been a solid player. But that was my second stud. So that's my guy. But on to the first stud, guy we mentioned a little bit so far. He is actually, fun fact, this is something I learned today. The first Saturday of every July is an officially recognized holiday for this man in his hometown of Pompano Beach, Florida.
What?
Exactly. Look, come on, man. Look, I come with the gas. I bring you the good stuff.
You come with the most irrelevant information. I mean, sure, whatever.
So you get the other one before I give you any clues, and it's too easy. Now I make it a little challenging for you, and you're a little upset and mad. We're not playing on rookie mode anymore, guy.
What was the hint? He has a holiday in Florida on a
So
Saturday?
kind of, but not even close. You just
What?
misinterpreted all my correct words I gave you. The first Saturday of July, so that would be
Okay.
the first of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in Pompano Beach, Florida, his hometown,
Okay.
the mayor has declared that day as being his official holiday.
His official holiday. Did he go to college in that area?
I
Or
just said
he's,
his hometown was Pompano Beach.
so
We'll
he
get
grew
to the
up
next
there,
bill.
but where did he? Okay.
He later did not go. He did not go to college in Florida. So I'll give you that. His middle name is Demetrius. He
Demetrius.
is a former Heisman winner.
Okay.
You need more? You need more than 3 hints?
I'm really,
Come on,
I'm
guy. You used to be so good
really,
at this.
I'm stumped. Oh wait, no, I'm stumped. Well, okay, he has to have won his game because that's the rules for your stud list.
So the only thing you've gotten down is the same thing that I've been stuck to every single week. So good job. We're off to a good start. He is also a football
I
player.
don't know
So you
how
got that too.
many people. I don't know many players' middle names. All right, give me another hint. What do we got? Heisman's not enough for me. I don't. That's like a quarterback thing.
You got something there. His college mascot was a bird.
I'm trying to think who went off in college. I mean, who went off this week as a quarterback? Uh his college mascot was a bird.
Yeah. No, really? Wow, you stink. This
Come
is
on,
not
more
fun.
hints, more hints.
Oh my
I'm
God.
I'm
I actually, to
struggling
be
here.
fair, I don't have many more hints because I expected you to get it by now.
I'm usually too good for you. I need to give you some time to catch up here.
Okay. He was a first round quarterback,
Okay.
the same draft class as, actually, I'll give you this hint. He was a first round quarterback, the same draft class. The team that he played this week had 2 top 5 picks that same year. So the year he was drafted, the team that he just beat this past week had 2 top 5 picks drafted that same exact year. When is the last time you knew a team drafted twice in the top 5? Doesn't happen that often. You're just embarrassing.
I'm blanking. What year was the draft?
2018.
2018. Who drafted? So I'm trying to remember who drafted twice.
Wow, this is painful.
Yeah, I'm really upset with myself. I'm not.
Just
I
giving away.
All right. What colors are his uniform?
Oh my, I'm not cheating. All right, here, I'll give you another one. His jersey, even though he was drafted in 2018, his jersey, his game-worn jersey is already in the Hall of Fame. It is in the Hall of Fame because he is the second quarterback in NFL history to have a perfect passer rating in a season.
Pass rating. Wait a minute.
Well, 2 perfect passer ratings in a season. So he had 2 games with a perfect passer rating in one season. He's only the second quarterback ever to do that.
I can't believe I literally have no idea who you're talking about.
The team he plays for now is also a bird mascot. God, I'm gonna have to paint you a picture of him soon.
Wait, not Kyler.
Was it? It was Kyler Murray. No.
Wait, so bird. Oh.
For our friends at home, a Sooner
Oh wait,
is not
wait.
a bird.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. The Browns had 2 first-round picks 2 years ago.
There you
Lamar
go.
Jackson played for Louisville.
There we go.
All
it only
right.
took you 10
Wow,
minutes.
that was hard. I can't believe how dumb I am.
I know. I ran out of hints. I actually went all the way out.
You know why? It's because I didn't get to watch the game, and that's why. I only got to see highlights. If I had watched the game, I'd probably be like, oh, because I don't know Lamar's stats.
So I'll give you a little refresher.
All I know is that he went to the bathroom to poop and came back and scored a touchdown on the 4th down. So
yeah, I heard it was cramps, but sure, yeah, we can go with that story too. So Lamar Jackson, 11-17, 163 yards of the air, 1 passing touchdown. He added 124 yards on the ground, 9 carries for a 13.8 average.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Fun fact, did you know that the 9 combined rushing touchdowns in the Browns and Ravens game is the most in an NFL game in NFL history?
There were 9 rushing touchdowns?
Yep.
Damn. Did Baker not throw a single one?
No, he hit Baker through 2.
So
He also
Baker threw
ran one
2
in.
and Lamar threw 1, and they still had room for 9 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Chubb had 2. Hunt
That's
had
what I'm
1.
saying. I'm just really hurt that I missed this game. It sounds like everyone who watched this said it was really good.
Yeah, you would have. Honestly, this spot was going to be either Baker or it was going to be Lamar, whoever won that game. And I'll touch on this a little bit more outside the numbers. Obviously, Lamar had,
Really, he had
nearly
a he had a perfect passer rating.
apparently 2 games last year.
Wow.
Apparently, got him in the Hall of Fame. So that was, like I said, I was looking for fun facts, and that was one that popped up. Didn't make the selection, but you couldn't figure it out, so I had to just throw in a couple rejects in there.
You finally stumped me. You should be honored.
I can't.
I guess that's on Riddick before you gave me anything to go on. So
I feel good actually. I stumped you, but yeah.
okay.
Back to my boy Lamar. I wanted to put him in the stud list mostly because I gave him a lot of crap about his passing, and after he came back from pooping, as you said, he went out there, delivered a beautiful deep ball to Marquise Brown, and then that last drive when even actually before the deep ball, he was moving the ball pretty well, and then when they needed the field goal to win with the one timeout, he drove right down the field, was accurate, short ball out of his hands, ran that offense really well. I was extremely impressed. That was the best passing on a series or multiple series that I've seen from Lamar easily this season. But very impressive. I think that I gave him most of the credit because while he did have the 124 yards rushing, which we always see in the 2 touchdowns, it was the fact that he made up for his mistakes throughout the season in the passing game in a crucial moment in a game they had to win because that was it for the Ravens. They lose that game, the playoffs are pretty much out of the picture for them. So in a win or go home kind of game for the Ravens to save their season, I got to give it to their boy for coming off clutch, coming out of the locker room, saving the day.
Yeah, I like I said, I wish I would have been able to catch the game, but yeah, I like that fit. I think he's had a really up and down season, so I think he needed this game to kind of they'll start catching fire hopefully and get towards a playoff push because right now they are number 8 in the AFC behind. Surprisingly, if the playoffs started today, Miami has the 7th seed, and then the Colts, I believe, it's 6.
Oh, that was they had to win that game because if they lose that game, like you said, the competition's too stiff right now with the AFC.
Yeah.
They can't afford to drop down, especially in the division.
And I did see when I saw that Derrick Henry had 1,500 rushing yards already, it was like top 5. I think or maybe it was top 10. But I know Lamar is in the top 10 of rushing in the league, which, again, he's a quarterback, which is insane. So
yeah. So yeah.
All right. What about the duds? Who's maybe I can redeem myself here.
I'll give you hints on the other 2. This one I don't really have a hint because this one I debated hard on this. This was actually between this guy and Taysom Hill. Because I'll tell you one thing. During that Saints game, you know what I noticed? I noticed that if Drew Brees was out there, we weren't going to win. Taysom Hill missed some throws, was not crisp. Just you could tell that he is not the quarterback that's going to carry them. And to be fair, their Hall of Fame quarterback is chilling on the bench. So he does enough what he needs to do now. But I was watching the game. I was like, man, if Drew Brees was out there, that's easily completion, or he doesn't miss that, or it's just different, So
I mean, I thought Taysom Hill played well, and like not in that game, but like throughout the season and
no,
in his opportunities. But I never was sold on him as like a starting quarterback or like someone to take over.
No, listen, I think the stretch that he's played for Brees has probably been better than what we expected.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just this game, particularly from the games that I saw, I didn't watch all the snaps that he's played, but he always looked pretty solid. This game, you could tell that if Drew Brees was out there, this is a different outcome. It was just clearly that they missed that spark on offense, and especially with how many injuries we had in the secondary, I kind of thought they would take more advantage of it. So,
do you know Taysom Hill was he was hurt every year he played college football?
Oh, no, I did not know that. That's a nice little fun.
That's kind of why he never really got a shot in the NFL to start and was just always kind of a backup because he never proved really much in college. He had, I think every year he had a season in injury or something like that.
Look at you with the fun facts. I'm actually pretty impressed by that. All right, so let's get to the guy that didn't get the mercy that Taysom Hill did.
Okay.
So this was this was a tough guy, but I noticed a trend that every time a coach or coordinator gets fired, they pretty much always make the dud list. So I kind of like that streak, and I thought it was applicable. And plus, I gave Philip Rivers so much crap all throughout the season, and any defense that is allowing the Colts and Philip Rivers and his duck arm to put up 44 points. Like, geez, this isn't the Chiefs. This isn't, the Saints or the Bills. This is the Colts, who I thought were a defensive first team who don't turn the ball over or make mistakes and win games that way. But like I said, he resurrected T.Y. Hilton this season. He gave up 150 yards on the ground to Jonathan Taylor and gave him 2 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton added 2 touchdowns.
I was going to say, they ran the ball really well.
They did everything really well. Phillip Rivers was 19 of 28 with 244 and 2 touchdowns. There was no
picks? No Phillip Rivers interceptions?
Wow. No, listen, this defense just let them do whatever the hell they want. And the man in charge, Paul Gunther, my guy, who is now unemployed and has no job. Paul Gunther, I'm sorry to do this to you, kick you while you're down, but I did it to everyone else. So you had to make the list just off of, obligation. I'm a man of tradition and honor. So you lose your job, you're on the list. So Paul Gunther, you're the 3rd stud of the week. It's just that was a bad game. I mean, the Raiders, the weirdest team this year.
Yeah, I mean, their offense sometimes looks really good, and then, like you said, then they do shit like this. And you're like, wait, is this team not?
But so, all right, just looking back. All right, so let me just go through, because I was like looking through this, and I was like, wow. I was like, why did Paul Gunther get fired? I was like, why did it take this long to get fired? His last couple of games, the Raiders have given up 44 points to the Colts, 28 to the Jets, 43 to the Atlanta Falcons, 35 to the Chiefs, 12 to the Broncos, beat up on the Broncos, 26 to the Chargers, the Browns 6. So that was like the 2-week stretch that they were dominant defensively.
Yeah.
They gave a 45 to the Buccaneers the week before that, 32 to the Chiefs the week before that, 30 to the Bills the week before that, 36 the week before that to the Patriots. And then the start of the season, they gave up 24 to the Saints and 30 to the Panthers. So you notice a trend where unless they're playing the Browns and the Broncos, they're pretty much giving up 30 points every single game. That is pretty bad. So
I mean, that's definitely bad, but I think this is going to go down as the highest scoring NFL season we've ever had. But yeah, that's not good stuff.
Yeah, so it's pretty tough. And like I said, I like to stay consistent. So you get fired, you're on there, baby.
Fair enough. I saw I think it was on Fox, the pregame shows on Sunday. They had like a skit for the Raiders now that they're in Vegas, and it was like all these magicians and stuff, and they spun a roulette wheel, and they're like, all right, who's playing quarterback this week? And it's like,
yeah,
number 5, which is like that kind of like their whole season's kind of been like a roll the dice because we don't know what we're getting out of them. But I think they still have good pieces, and Gruden's didn't he sign like a 10-year contract or something?
Oh, Gruden's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so they're planning for the future still.
Listen, I mean, the offense isn't the problem. Jacobs is a stud. I think they're going to run him in the ground, though, if they don't get him on least and someone to help spell him. Because I don't think he can handle 30 carries every game like they've been running.
Yeah.
But he's resurrected the career of Nelson Aguilar and Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, they're going in the right direction. They hit rock bottom. They were terrible his first year, and they're getting better each year. Their defense is a problem, but they're going the right way. I would say about them.
All right, who's stud number 2?
Stud number 2. This guy, let's see, which fact should I start with first? So he's a quarterback, first-round quarterback, drafted in the top 5.
Okay.
His first career pass in the NFL was a touchdown.
Okay.
His first season with his rookie head coach, as he was a rookie, they made it. They made it to the playoffs. Okay. The first time that has happened since 1945. I believe my fact checker said.
Okay.
He went to a college in the greater Northeast area.
Okay.
He has a nickname after one of the finest light lagers in the land.
Still, you really get me with these.
Listen, I brought my game today.
All right. I'm just recapping my head what you were going through there.
Interesting, right?
Is he a young guy?
No. I'll give you his draft class. He was a top 5 pick. I want to say he was 3rd overall.
Okay.
But it was like 2008.
2008. Was it? It wasn't Big Ben, was it?
It was not. No. Big Ben was not drafted 3rd overall.
Yeah, what was he 05? What year was Big Ben drafted?
04, I think.
Before?
I'll give you another hint. This guy was drafted 3rd overall in the 2008 draft. He was drafted behind 2 players that had the same exact last name but are not related.
Same exact last name, but not related. This is a quarterback, right?
You're just figuring out it's a quarterback now? I think that was the first hint I gave you.
Oh, yeah. You said he threw a passing touchdown as a rookie. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's just I'd say you didn't even bring your B game to this.
Sorry, you throw so many facts at me. I gotta pull them all in at once. I didn't know I was taking a test.
All right. Here, I'll do it slower for you so you can follow along.
No, just. Is that all your? Do you have more, or that was it?
I mean, I expect you to get it by now, but I guess I can give you a few more. His team that he plays for now is actually his team that he plays for now and his collegiate team are both bird mascots.
Okay. Bird mascots. There's quite a lot of those. Matt Ryan.
There we go.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I thought you'd get it eventually.
Boston College Eagles. He's a PA boy, Matt Ryan. I forget.
Yes. Can you tell me who was drafted 1 and 2 before him? The ones that are same exact last name but aren't brothers?
They're linemen, right? Offensive lineman.
One is
Logan. No, not Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan's a cornerback.
I thought there was also a Logan Ryan lineman.
I don't know, but
Ryan brothers that aren't. Wait.
I never said Ryan.
You said same last name. Oh no. Oh, okay.
I said those two have the same last name.
Oh,
jeez, you need to edit this whole question.
No, this is all raw. We go raw nowadays.
Yeah,
editing.
Listen, I'm looking out for you here.
The people like the raw. We raw dog it out here. I know. No. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I just can't. They're offensive linemen, right?
One is, yes. One of them
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot remember. What's the first letter start with of the last name?
L. Like you're taking an L right now.
Shut up. It's not.
I'll give you
it's not Lawn, is it?
It could be. Can you name 2 longs that were drafted 1st and 2nd?
Oh, it would be Chris Lawn.
That would be the one that was drafted 2nd overall. So you are right about that. So that must mean the first one must be named Long.
Wait, what's the other guy's name?
Jake Long.
They are. Oh wait, he has a brother that played offensive line.
Yes, Kyle Long.
Kyle. Okay, yeah. I was like stumped. I couldn't remember. Okay, you're right. I couldn't remember. He was taken by the. What was he that the Chiefs? No. Yeah.
Really, just letting yourself down here.
Who was he? He was a bust though. He wasn't that good.
I don't know. He was very good. He got hurt, but he was very good.
Oh, the Rams.
There you go.
Yeah, he was taken by the St. Louis Rams.
Wait, no. Chris Long was taken by the Rams. Jake Long was not taken by the Rams.
Oh, yeah. Jake Long was taken by not the Browns. Who was it? Was
You're really struggling here, guy.
I mean, all right, we're talking about a 2008 draft. Come on, give me some slack here.
He was overall pick
12 years ago.
He was the first overall pick. I could probably name you all first overall picks from the last 15 years.
Wow, what team? It was an NFC team, wasn't it?
Nope, it was an AFC team.
Are you sure it wasn't the Chiefs?
I'm positive.
All right. Well, it wasn't anyone else from that division.
You're right about that.
It wasn't the Patriots. Was
someone in their division?
Was it the Bills? No.
Nope.
It was the Jets?
Wasn't the Jets.
So the Dolphins.
There you go.
Really? Was he the Dolphins? I don't remember that.
He was drafted by them.
Huh. Well, now that monologue's over, what were his lovely stats? Now, back to Matt Ryan.
That was a poor performance on your part. Really,
we're batting 500. Got one or two right.
500.
Two wrong.
I don't know what you're counting, but yeah, let's go back to Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan, as I mentioned a little bit in the beginning, Chargers, a team that loves to blow leads, they managed to pull it out and win one at the end against Matt Ryan and his Falcons, who love to blow leads even more than the Chargers. Matt Ryan, 21 of 32, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Now, wait, there's more.
Oh.
We cannot forget that 2 of those Matt Ryan interceptions, they don't get the justice by just showing up on the stat sheet. 2 of those Matt Ryan interceptions came on the last 2 drives of the game for the Falcons.
Nice.
So that means that Matt Ryan and the Falcons were tied. It was actually funny because the Chargers and the Falcons
they were tied.
they were tied 17-7.
Wow.
Matt, hold on. Now listen to this scenario. Matt Ryan throws an interception, brutal one. Then Herbert goes and throws an interception right back to them.
Oh, nice.
And then Matt Ryan comes back, and this one, even worse than the other one.
You want to see me do it again?
He just throws it right back to him. And then ultimately Herbert's like, you know what? I know I'm a rookie, but if you're going to give me the ball twice, I'm eventually going to beat you. So that was when Herbert was able to get him in field goal range, and they kicked the field goal and won.
I thought he was Matty Ice. I thought he was supposed to be cool under pressure.
Ooh, man, there was nothing cool under the pressure there. They were 2 brutal interceptions. I know
Matty melts.
He threw it right to the guy. And you know, when your 2 last possessions of a tied game, that usually isn't going to win you the game.
No.
So yeah, Matt Ryan, who just, I think he's gotten away from most of the blame because of how bad the defense and Dan Quinn has been. But now that Dan Quinn's gone, Matty Ice is full game to take all this blame. So yeah, brutal showing. You never want to see a veteran quarterback throw 2 interceptions on 2 possible game-winning drives. So
no.
There we go. All righty. Moving on to the first dud. I know I'm not going to lie. I had some pretty good facts about him, but after your poor performances, you'll never get him. So I'll give you this.
Let's roll with it. I can surprise you.
I doubt it, but he is a native of Mustang, Arkansas, born and raised.
Okay.
He was a valedictorian in college or high school. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He was actually, it was Mustang, Oklahoma. I do apologize. I got the states mixed up in the Midwest.
Yeah, they're all the same out there.
Yeah. So he went on to a pro career, obviously. He started with one of the most hated teams for you and me, the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
He had a bunch of success, actually, surprisingly. He set the record for the most field goals by a rookie for the Cowboys. He also recorded the 2nd most consecutive field goals in club history. He became the 3rd kicker in franchise history with the highest number of field goals. And this was the 13th season. And continued to, do pretty well for them. He had a horrific showing after his 2015 season where he won the Pro Bowl. In 2017, it all came to an end for him with the Cowboys. He was pretty brutal, and they cut bait with him, as you do with most kickers. So there's your big hint. He this week went on to he single-handedly cost me one of my bets because he single-handedly lost the game for his team and single-handedly couldn't cover the spread. So I hate him a lot. This hint cannot be confirmed, but I'm almost positive that the doctor that delivered him in birth has now been forced to retire due to how awful of the transaction that's turned out to be, because Dan Bailey's a horrible human being.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Dan Bailey or Nick Folk, but I knew it was one of the 2.
Yeah, Dan Bailey, and I took the Vikings.
To clarify, yeah, he plays for the Vikings now, right?
Yeah, I took the Vikings on the I think it was like a 7-point spread or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Bailey went on to miss 3 field goals and an extra point. At one point, well, he would have missed another.
Okay.
Oh, he would have missed another kick. Don't you worry. But I think it was like 4th and it was something long. It was like a 4th down conversion this team would have never gone for if they had any confidence in their kicker. Seeing as the guy's job title is kicker, you think he could be able to handle kicking, but he clearly sucks and doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to kicking. So, yeah, I'm still haven't gotten over how much I despise Dan Bailey. But when you miss 4 kicks.
I don't know what's in the air this year about kickers, but I've never seen so many missed extra points, missed field goals. Like, we even had the great Steven Gostowski. He was like, he's a Hall of Famer probably as a kicker, and he had like a game where he missed like 3-4 field goals. It's like, I don't know what's going on with kickers this year.
Just know, as a gentleman whose profession is kicker, he went out, collected a paycheck to go out and miss 4 kicks. He didn't make a
Oh,
single
I
kick.
know.
And that's his job, is to be a kicker.
I mean, we love them when they hit a game winners, and we hate them when they miss. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
He collected money. I didn't. So Dan Bailey
Okay.
can go fuck himself. He's the number 1 dud of the week.
Fair enough. Interesting. Never thought we would have a kicker as the number 1 dud. We had a kick. Look at this.
When
A
you bet the
kicker, a
spread,
coordinator. You mixed it in there. I like it.
well,
Diversity.
Listen, like I said to Paul Gunther, if you get fired, you'll always have a spot on the dud list. If you cost me money single-handedly, you will also find your way on the dud list.
Jeez.
And Dan Bailey, that was you. So you suck. I hope someone spits in your Cheerios.
That's a little aggressive. All right. Moving on, we'll get to our power rankings, and then we can finish up with our picks. Not too much change, but our top 5 did shake up quite a lot. But we'll start at number 10. We have the Colts carrying over from last week. Number 9, Seahawks. Like I said, 10-6 was pretty much unchanged. 8, we had the Rams. 7, the Titans, and 6, the Browns. Kind of just left that there because the Browns, pummeled the Titans a couple weeks ago and then lost in a shootout to the Ravens, basically. So number 5 is where we get some changes. So Pittsburgh slides down. The injuries on defense are really hurting them, and they're not playing great. New Orleans, lost to a beat-up Eagles team with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
But they're getting Breeze back, so they'll be fine.
If I was a Saints fan, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. I mean that impacted our number 3, which is the Packers, because they have the same record now, and I think the Packers now have the number 1 seed.
They do. Yeah, they do.
And this is the first year that we're doing 7 playoff teams, and only 1 team gets a bye. So especially for Breeze, like he would have wanted that extra week, with his injuries and stuff. So, but number 2, we have Buffalo moving up. They've been, throughout this year, they've been up and down this entire power rankings. They might have been booted off at one point, I don't remember, but they're playing really well right now. Running the ball, throwing it, like Josh Allen's back to playing really well. They had a bit of a bump in the road in the middle of the season, but they're playing good. They're the biggest threat to our number 1 team, the Chiefs, who once again just even when Mahomes throws 3 picks, they still find a way to win. So they're going to stay up there for probably the rest of the year unless they lose 3 straight. But
all right, on to the picks. How did I do this week?
On to the picks. Not too bad. So we finally got another guest in, my friend Ben. He picked his record. He went 10-6, very respectable. You went 10-6 as well. And surprise, surprise, I went 12-4.
I'm so tired of that.
So right now the standings are: you have you're 131-80, and I'm 149-60. So you got some catch up to do.
All right, well, we're working on it.
You're gonna have to go like undefeated a couple weeks, but
it's possible.
We'll see. Oh, what a lovely one. We got Chargers at the Raiders.
Ooh, actually, you know what? That's a nonsensical game. Like we talked about how many points the Raiders love to give up, and the Chargers, I feel like them and the Falcons are always in some kind of brutal last-second loss. So that could be an entertaining game.
I mean,
with that said, that's tough. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think they need to win this game. I think they get a little mojo. I think if you look at the firings this year, after the team fires their coach or coordinator, they usually do a little bit better the next year or the next week.
I can't imagine they lose a game that the Chargers I thought were going to push for playoffs. They have not looked great. And the Raiders I thought were also going to push for playoffs. And they kind of have here and there. But yeah, I agree. I think this is an important game for them. So I'll take the Raiders. Moving on. Oh, so this is I forgot. So this is the start of our Saturday games too.
Oh yeah, we got 2.
It's gonna confuse the hell out of me. So Saturday we have 4:30. We have the Bills at the Broncos.
Okay.
In all seriousness, Drew Lock threw 4 touchdowns last week, and The Broncos, I would not be shocked if they upset the Bills here,
I would be stunned.
but I'm going to take the Bills anyways.
I am also taking the Bills.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised.
I would be very surprised. After all the hype you just gave the Bills, now you're going to say they could lose to the Broncos?
It could be a trap game. You never know.
I would like to see you pick it. Actually, don't, because last time that happened where I bet I goaded you into taking Washington and it ended up working out for you.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm smarter than you. And then the 8 o'clock Saturday game is the Panthers at the Packers. I'm not going to think too much about this one. Carolina's they looked somewhat promising in the beginning of the year, and they have not been able to get some wins lately, so I'll take Packers.
Yeah, they're losing a little steam. Good future ahead. The offense is still there. McCaffrey's still hurt, but they got some players on offense they can build around. Defense, they got young studs coming up with Burns and Chin, and I like Derek Brown, but yeah, give me the Packers. I think they're going to keep on rolling.
Moving on, we have first 1 o'clock game is the Niners at the Cowboys. I mean, I've seen nothing out of Nick Mullins that makes me say, yeah, he can beat Dallas. And the Dallas is, suddenly good at him. They're still a bad team, but I think Dallas in the battle of bad teams wins this one.
Yeah, I don't know. You're over here saying I haven't seen anything from Nick Mullins that makes me think he beat Dallas. I could see a child playing with a Nerf football outside, and I think they could beat Dallas. Dallas is a horrible team. I'll take the Niners.
Okay. The next game we got Seattle at Washington. This could be interesting. Although I think I don't know if he's cleared, but I know
Alex Smith's hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, something happened. But I even if Alex Smith played, I think Washington's their defense has played nice, but I think this is when Russ starts cooking, when he needs to start getting them wins for the playoffs. So I'll take Seattle.
Yeah, I don't remember what the injury is off the top of my head, but I didn't hear positive reports. I think if he was playing, then I would actually seriously consider Washington. I think they're a team that's moving in the right direction.
I agree.
And that defensive line, I think, can make life tough for Russell. I don't know if you stop him, but they can make it tough. So, but I'll still take the Seahawks. If Alex Smith's not playing, there's no way. They just can't score without him.
Yeah. The next game we have Chicago at Minnesota. I mean, I'll say Vikings, but this is a toss-up because Vikings have looked good and then looked really bad, and the Bears have shown good, promising things on defense, but then their offense doesn't show up. So,
the Bears had a big win.
Game, though.
The Bears had a big win last week. I think they carried over. I'll take the Bears.
Okay. Next game we got Pats at the Dolphins. This is interesting. Did they already played? Didn't the Dolphins win the first matchup? I can't remember.
I don't know off the top of my head, but you know what? Even when Brady and Belichick are there and they're winning Super Bowls, they still always find a way to lose to Miami in December. Yeah. I don't think getting Cam Newton's going to solve that problem. So I'll take Miami. December Miami games for the Patriots for some reason is the only thing that can stop them.
Yeah, Patriots, surprisingly, they're a weird team this year because they'll have a game where they score 40 points and then they have a game where they score 3. So
yeah.
I'll take the Dolphins here too. Next game, Jacksonville at Baltimore. Like I said, Ravens are cruising a bit now that they finally got a win against a good team. I think they'll continue winning.
Okay. By the way, the Patriots did beat the Dolphins. Their first matchup this week. It was the first game of the season.
All right. Well, then even furthermore, I'll pick the Dolphins.
Fair enough. I'm sorry. Who was the one you just said?
Jacksonville at Baltimore.
Yeah. Give me the Ravens.
Next game is the Bucks at the Falcons. Could be a shootout, but Tom needs to get his wins, and the Falcons have already been eliminated from playoffs. So I'll take the Bucks. Yeah,
honestly, we're at that point of the season where some of these games are just going to be a team with nothing to play for and teams that need to win this game vitally bad. Mm-hmm. And this is one of them. And, of course, there'll be a couple surprise upsets in there in one of these games. But for the most part, give me the team that has everything to play for, not the one that, is basically in off-season mode. So I'll take the Bucks.
Fair enough. not to get off track, but I do remember, I believe it was 2 years ago. I remember it was like week 17, when I think it was like the Bengals beat the Ravens or somebody and like completely threw off all the playoff teams, and like two wild card teams changed, and like you said, this is the time of year where teams that aren't supposed to win find a way to win, and the teams that should be winning the games prove whether they're ready to make it to the playoffs or not. So we'll see. We'll see. The next game, Detroit at Tennessee. I mean, Detroit held their own against Green Bay.
Yeah, but give me the Titans.
I think the Titans are just feeling themselves right now. They're
Again,
playing.
Derrick Henry's probably going to go for 200 yards, but it'll be against a bad team, and I'll just look the other way. I'll be like, oh, okay, whatever.
What if he gets 300 rushing yards?
Honestly, that's where we're at with Derrick Henry. He's like 200 yards.
That's the minimum to make this done. That's 300.
Yeah, like 200 yards from Derrick Henry against a bad team. Like, okay, so what? Like, he always does that. Like, I'm just used to it now.
Next game is Houston at Indianapolis. Yeah, I'm disappointed in Houston. They played really poorly against Chicago, but
I mean, honestly, you can talk about the most disappointing team from this past week and the most impressive team. Debatable with a couple other teams, but man, you should not be. I don't care how bad you are. You should not be getting smacked around by the Bears like that. If that defense is going to let the Bears score 36 points after the Colts just scored 44, I'd love to see how that goes. So give me the Colts.
Fair enough. I think I already said I'll take the Colts. We've had 3 straight. Actually, wait. Has it been? When's the last time we had a 1:00 Eagles game? Because we have another 4:00 one this coming up weekend. Eagles at Cardinals.
Probably the Browns game.
Was it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we had Seattle on Monday night, and then Packers at 4, Saints at 4, and now Cardinals at 4.
Yeah, the Browns were the week before that. But yeah.
Another 4:00 game for them to lose because it's part of me like I don't want that. I want to see them play well. I want to see players develop. I'm curious to see Kayvon Wallace get some snaps now that McLeod's out, but I get it that they beat. I mean, the Eagles. There's been bad Eagles teams that come out and beat good teams. Like I remember the one year they beat the Patriots. Michael Jenkins had like a pick 6, but I don't see them winning back-to-back games against solid teams. So I'll take the Cardinals.
I've kind of always thought the Cardinals are a little overrated. I also said I would never pick the Eagles until they won a game. They won a game. Like I said, mobile quarterbacks usually have a couple weeks of success before defenses catch up to them. I think that they can sneak another win in there. So I'll take the Eagles. Why not?
All right. I look at that as no Darius Slay possibly, and no McLeod leaves half that secondary wide open for D-Hop to work his magic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but listen, I've been very critical about Lamar, about how his passing passing skills need to improve. Kyler's there too. If Kyler's not running for 100 yards a game, the Cardinals struggle. I don't think he is not there as a passer, and I think the height is a lot to do with it. You see him in the pocket, like there's no way that guy can see past the line. And I know there's small quarterbacks and height's not a thing, and you can move around, but if he is not running the ball, they really struggle.
He does sometimes look like a child that they let suit up and run around.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's taller than me, but
you're not an NFL quarterback.
That's true. Yeah. I'm only 5'9".
There you go.
All right. Next game is Jets at the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams. Let me look at the Jets schedule real quick.
I'll take the Rams as well.
Are they gonna win? Are they gonna go 0-16?
Oh yeah, they don't have any wins. I forgot about that.
I want to show me their schedule. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't worry. While you're doing that, I'll give you the answer that you're looking for. They're gonna play the Browns and then the Patriots at the end of the season. So
yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna
do
win.
they really?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win. You know what's crazy? And I don't know what the tiebreaker would be, but the Jaguars are most likely going to miss out on Trevor Lawrence by a game, and that game came in the Week 1 win over the Colts.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't know what the difference is with the tiebreaker or how that would play out if they were both winless, but it really looks like the only win that's going to decide the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes is going to be from Week 1. That's pretty crazy.
That is wild. Damn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. I could maybe see them beating the Browns in an upset, but
I don't know. They're a bad team going absolutely
I don't
nowhere.
think Belichick loses to the Jets very often.
Like I said, I think they kept Gase so that he could lose games for them. I think they had full intention of tanking, and that as soon as the season's over, like I'm talking about in the locker room, like they're still, putting the helmets away and the equipment and all that, they just fire him on the spot. I
I
hope.
mean,
Listen,
they're not.
I
He's
hope.
not going to get axed now. They'll let him finish the season. But
Of course, he's doing a great job for them. He's going to get them Trevor Lawrence. I think they're more than happy with the season that he's given them. I just hope that last game of the season is in New York because I think they're going to get rid of him so fast that he's going to have to find his own way home from Boston.
Jesus. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. Next game we have is Kansas City at New Orleans. This is a big game for both teams.
Wow, that is a very good. Wow, Kansas City. Okay.
I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I'm a little unprepared, but I don't know. Is Drew Brees going to play?
I would assume he could have played, I believe, against Philly, but they were like, nah, we'll let Taysom Hill. He's been playing nice. Let Brees sit another week. So I would assume Brees is going to play.
This is going off Brees playing. I think if Brees is playing, the Saints go out there and they win. I think they need to get a get right game. And I said this about the Seahawks and the who was the other team that played a terrible? Oh, the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
That they were two good teams playing bad teams. They're going to blow them both out and have a get right game. Well, the other way of having a get right game is beat a very good opponent. And I think the Saints are, like I said, I wouldn't be happy if I was in New Orleans right now after losing the Eagles. That was a game they should have never lost. But this is a game I think they come out. Drew Brees comes back, gives them some momentum. The defense has a really good game and does enough. So I'm going to go on a limb. I'll call it an upset, and I'll take the Saints.
Fair enough. I think this could be a reverse of that. It could be a wake-up game for the Chiefs. I think they've been getting by the last few games. Like, they haven't been playing spectacular Chiefs football. So I think a loss here would help them kind of reset themselves. But I don't see the Chiefs really losing another game, honestly. They're just that good. So I'll take the Chiefs in a probably a shootout, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Honestly, it's going to be a very interesting matchup between the Saints defense and the Chiefs offense. That's pretty much, you can make an argument those are the best in the NFL.
I mean, I think they gave up, almost 30 points to the Bucs. I think the Bucs had like 24, 28 a couple weeks ago. So against the Saints.
Listen, this is a big game for the Saints. I mean, I don't think anyone will think any differently of the Chiefs if they lose this game. But for the Saints, after a very bad loss to the Eagles, they could probably use some mojo back, a get right game to get the spark back in that locker room.
I agree. It'll be that's the last 4 o'clock game, and then Sunday Night Football is interesting. Cleveland at New York, the Giants. A nice prime time Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, just like everyone wants.
Yeah, first off, who in a million years thought the Giants and Browns would be flexed into a Sunday Night Football spot? But hey, listen, credits off to them. They're both playing pretty well. I mean, to a degree, but I'll take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I think New York had their spotlight. They'll fight Washington for NFC East title. Probably finish 7-9, 6-10. So it's gonna be gross. Monday we have Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. No Joe Burrows, Cincinnati's. They fight, but they're not a very good team. And Pittsburgh desperately needs a win, so I'll take Pittsburgh.
Can we flex this game? How did this get approved for this late in a Monday Night Football game? But yeah, I'll give me the Steelers. This is a get right game for them. They need it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our full slate of all 16 games. I don't have any more. Nothing more to add. I think it'll be. I agree with you. I think someone here is gonna lose a game that's very important, and it's gonna mess everything up. Like every year, playoffs get messed up right towards the end. So I don't know who it's gonna be, but there's gonna be an upset.
We'll see.
Smell it in the air.
All right. Well, this was fun.
As it always is. Next time I'll have to come with my my brain, so that way I can get your
a disgusting performance.
Get your facts straight. So
they were pretty straight. They were pretty good. You just
we'll see.
All right. I'll talk to you.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace.